Behind me is my little Android meme when I was working for Google. I love that little guy. But um, business, spirituality, law of attraction, um, is where I'm kind of gonna go with this. This is what if you win? Like, what if you win? I I sat here and I was pondering this for a long time. It just like it kept popping into my head. And our whole life, we're always preparing to lose. We're preparing for the worst outcomes. What if this? Or we're worrying and we're stressing and blah blah. But there's no preparation if you win. It's never a thought in your mind. What if I win this? Like we might be tricking ourselves to be like, okay, we're doing preparing for the worst outcome. And again, a lot of this um, came from my experience of listening to Till Swan. She's really great and talking about when worrying and anxiety, because most people are worrying and they're in a state of anxiety from worry to worry to worry. It's not even that they're not even worried about the outcome. Like they're just attracting more worry and worry and worry. And me, I used to have be a person that had anxiety attacks and things of that nature, and I don't as much anymore. But still, it's kind of like that attraction and worry, and I'm breaking that mold of being in that state of being because it really doesn't change anything, and I'm experiencing the now. But even beyond experiencing now, like you could say all this positivity and stuff like that, but it never really comes in my mind preparation for winning. I'm always thinking about, okay, if this doesn't, what are the, like, what if I win? And I think I want everyone to kind of sit in there, like, what if you do get that promotion? What if you do get your fundraising, your $20,000? What are you going to do? What is your preparation for winning? And I think that's the kind of the mindset that you can have. And that's more fruitful to me than worrying. And then when a lot of times we'll worry about things we cannot change. So if you cannot change what's going to happen, what is stopping you from experiencing the now and completely? What's stopping you from having full peace and happiness in this exact moment? And that's what I'm playing with, and that's what, again, like I said, I've always I want to do as a living example because a lot of people, oh, go after they went through something or they're looking at someone else observing and it's kind of out of touch with their experience. And again, this is another thing you'll learn in the Landmark Forum. Um, Most people, even me in certain things, you'll be in a situation and you'll be try to justify or explain the situation, but you're really in a spectator seat. So you're watching, but you're not in the full experience mode of the situation. So a lot of people that are, give you advice and stuff like that, they're watching from a mode of spectator, and you can't really do that, and that's why it makes it difficult. You can't really judge people either because everyone experiencing life through experience of their own lens. So based on their outcomes and their experiences before, that's what predicated their lens of how they view life as it is, and it's not per se right or wrong. That's just built on their lens. So in that mind or in that lens, it's kind of hard to like really give advice sometimes on anything because even now a business and certain things conditions have changed. So a lot of people want to like uh, go down this 40-50 year old model with like the conditions are changed. That just the factory age. That's not there. We're in the information and technology and automation. Well, actually, it's really the creative age. It's back for like creators, but like a lot of the factory basic stuff. That's not. So some of the advice should be like to other people, just get a job to do this. That some of that advice that you go from your limited realm of experience is a different lens, and someone who still has it might be the government program or has a retirement or pension. You cannot talk to someone who's per se younger with the same level of abstraction or what you can't really relate to them. You may think you're relatable, but you can't relate because it's different times, different conditions, and your advice is a lot of times outdated. It doesn't match the time, it doesn't match the conditions. So people have to really think about the advice and stuff they're getting. So my main thing is play with the idea. And like I said, everything takes time. Like I said, I'm on this new time kick and just allowance kick of just allowing things to happen, just not being so impatient, just allowing and just doing the best I can. But play with the idea of, what if you win? Like fully embrace that experience. What would it feel like to win, instead of just being so programmed to be like, okay, let me brace an experience of what if I lose? Because a lot of times, and think back to times in your life where you thought something bad was going and it didn't, but all that unexpected, the only thing you could go back and with a lot of times in my life, I say go back, rewrite, was the level of worrying. Because for most of the majority of stuff that did, like it might have not even happened, but it been like a state of worry to the next state of worry to the next state of worry. And the only thing I can go back is, oh, I wish I could replay those experiences and just be in the moment and not be so in fear of not knowing. Also, like as far as not knowing, not everything is like, certain. Like you get one thing, then you'll just evolve to the next. So you meet one challenge with the next, because again, like we're here to like evolve and give information back to the creator, the supreme, the being, the source consciousness, whatever is evolution. So like one finish line, there's another one, there's another. So you have to be, it's just moments and feedbacks and experience. So just be fully aware in that experience. So that's why I preach slow down. And like I said, I'm a living example. So I go through a lot of it within myself. So I'm breathing, I'm slowing down, and I'm setting an intention. Nothing just comes flow. I'm setting intention to choose to be happy, to choose to not worry, to choose to do things intentionally and intentionally focus, to choose to watch something that'll make me laugh, that'll intentionally focus on a better mind state. Because you can't be in a mind state, and there's a mind state of problem, worry, and then there's a mind state of solution. Your mind state of problem solver will never be the same frequency or vibration of the solution. So even if you have the problem, you cannot be in that same energy wave and expect to develop the solution. You have to be in a state of abundance and state of happiness and state of ideas to like have information be able to come to you for you even to have a solution. So like the way that most people do stuff is just wrong. So you just have to really like bring yourself back. And like I said, I do a lot of breathing. Whatever works for you. I think laughter is the biggest thing. Like people try to make, but like laughing and just enjoying yourself and take caring of you and doing things that you may say, oh well, this is not like the stuff that doesn't prolong your that ideally that you think is not really affecting your happiness or actually your goals are actually the ones that are really important. That's really like I was speaking about earlier about how the subconscious mind is when you let go of focusing so hard and intently on that thing when the shit happens. So the stuff that you're thinking is wasting time is actually the best for you. It might be the best for you to go out and take a walk. It might be the best for you to go drink something. It might be the best for you to go watch that comedy thing. It might be the best for you to go call your friend, hang out, and just like bullshit for the day or sleep all day. That might be the best for you in solving or finding a true solution for your problem. So that's where I was today. Like I said, everything is, um, and everything with the fearmonger TV, the CNBC, all the bullshit. I mean, they feed off of like again, I was listening to Red Pill. They feed off a negative type of energy. So their whole life, man. Every time I use somebody else like thing, the thing freezes. But anyway, but fear is a frequency, and worry is a state of fear. So there's two main frequencies on Earth. Okay, so and everything else is just spin-offs of those frequencies. And I know many people might have heard this. If you haven't, there's love and there's fear. So it's where you operate. So love, and then think about happiness and things derived from from that higher level frequency. So I use laughter as a great example. Laughter is amazing. Your comedy is so that means you have so much happiness and enjoyment that you have to like laugh off. That's what the laugh is, the releasing of that. You have so much positive energy that it gets you to the point where you laugh, and that's releasing of that energy. So you want to kind of do things that get you a state there. You always want to be there. And it doesn't matter if people look at you crazy, because like I said, most of the time, most people have it wrong. I'm a solution oriented person, so I don't care how I'm perceived. Is the fact is my mind is to get to the solution, and the same thing for you should be whatever you have. If it's in the realm of a possibility, if it's something you cannot change, again, let it go and breathe and then play with the possibility of the worst scenario happening, and then just allow it. Be okay with it. A lot of things we have like this divergent, like this energy from allowing. That when you allow stuff, sometimes you can look at what situation, whatever that you think is a big deal. You can look back in your life and you're like, oh man, I made it through much worse situations than that, and even that. Or you could take a look and again, this is about objectively looking at stuff, taking yourself outside yourself and look at, oh, there's people who are worse, so like you think about like people like I work with someone and her life is not that bad anymore. Not say bad, but it's not that she's not having that experience anymore where she'd have to walk 2 miles just to get clean water. So like you can always take yourself outside of yourself and look at this in the grand scope and be like, okay, it's not that bad. This is just something I have to deal with and I have to figure out and go through that experience. So those are kind of ways, but like the first way that I want you guys to play with is play with the idea of what if you do win? We're so all our focus and concern is on losing. What would you do if you win? Like, what would you do if you got that $20,000? Would you go on a trip? What would you could, and we try to use worry as a comfort mechanism, and so much. But like beyond that, play with winning for a while. Sit there, with it. Sit there and dream and feel and experience what winning would be. I'm a beach water person. Like me winning, I would go to the beach, relax, take a weekend off, get a hotel, do some stuff probably with music, go to LA. If I ran into a lot of money, like play with the fact of winning, like traveling. Like I said, traveling. Like play with that and fully experience that moment. Like nothing is wrong with that. We're just sitting there with those emotions and sit there for a while to like you literally feel those emotions and watch your attitude change. And you might even come up with solutions to your problem that weren't available to you, because I said worry shuts down different parts of your body and energy. Because again, fear is a low dense frequency. So worry is just an abstraction, and anxiety, those are just abstractions from fear. So you're not gonna come up with solutions, and things that you never thought possible are very possible. So yeah, play with the idea of winning. And like I said, I had to say this because that's something that came to me. It was like, man, I what if I win? Like I didn't even think about that. How would I do? So yeah, peace and love.